Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazine. A new film is coming your way called Outnumbered, and I am here with the director and star of the film, Chris Mauch. I can't pronounce that correctly. And one of the stars of the film as well, Ian Sanderson. I want to start with you guys. It's very interesting about kind of the mythology and the essence of the Western, because in a way it's defined American masculinity for well over a century. And as this is from Australia, I was wondering how much is it infused into your own definition of what a man is?
Ah, gee. I'll let you fire away with that one.
Quite very similar to America, I'd say, because a lot of Californians come out here looking for gold in the gold rush days. And yeah, there were bandits and bush rangers, we called them. But yeah, it was very similar, and I'm quite sure there were the Colt Peacemaker and the Winchester carbines and everything. It would have been in a way similar, but as far as a man would have been judged by how hard he worked, his honesty, and I think it would have been quite on a parallel, I'd say.
Chris, I want to ask you, this has been something that has kind of been in your system for the past 8 or 9 years, where it started as that a small little short film, and it kind of now grew into this feature film. What was the kind of genesis of the story? How did the spark come to you? I want to create this Western.
Look, it probably, Scott, it was something that because I spend a lot of hours on the farm. Obviously, I'm a farmer here in Australia, and on tractors and things like that for long hours. So I had plenty of time to think, and I was probably inspired, like Clint Eastwood Westerns, like back in the day, they were so big over here. And you don't see many of those type of Westerns anymore. So I sort of come up with these ideas to sort of head down a little bit similar to what Clint has done. And I was probably a little bit inspired by some of his work.
Well, I mean, you center at the core of your story these two brothers, which you didn't cast your brother, you cast your cousin instead. So I was just wondering, talk a little bit about what kind of skill sets did you guys already have? Who was the better horse rider? Who was the better gunfighter?
Oh, we're always practicing against each other when it comes to gunfighting. Look, we both grew up together on the farms here in Australia, and we probably just Matt's quite good on a horse. He's won a national rodeos title in steer wrestling over here in Australia. He's pretty much pretty well adapted to fit into the character that he played. As far as gunfighting goes, I'm going to put my hand up with that one. I think I was a little bit faster than him. But I mean, I was involved with rodeo myself. I was bull riding when I was young for a lot of years. Sustained some pretty nasty injuries, and then went back and just had to get over that fear factor. Went back to doing that. But as far as acting and that goes, I think Matt was quite good actually, and because I'd known him so long, and I mean the whole script was probably written that it's probably not too far off our natural characters. I didn't have too much trouble slotting into my character. I mean, obviously I had to go through some mental changes to be able to play that character, but I didn't really have a lot of trouble, because even from when we were young and going out and beer and chasing girls when we were young, it was always Matt going and getting in trouble, and always me pulling him back saying, hey, don't do that. You're gonna get in scrap here. And that's probably why we sort of suited the script that was written for us.
Ian, for any good protagonist, you have to have a good antagonist. Who are they going after? So I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about your character, because it would be easy to make him cliche and over the top. You had to ground him. He can't just be pure evil. So
well, I'm not pure evil, but it's, again, it goes along with my character as well. I'm a bit of a rat bag and run around sort of a guy and get into a bit of trouble here and there, but not really in the way of bloodthirsty, cold-blooded murder. But it was just a job to me, and that's how I took it on.
But as Chris was saying before about the Clint Eastwood type of reference, Were there people in the cinematic DNA that you looked at as, now that's a good villain, that's a good character I kind of want to be similar to?
I can't pinpoint one at the moment, but
What you thought was
yeah, it was more, yeah, not anyone in specifically, but yeah, I tried to.
You basically created your own character.
Yeah, but I was emulating other bad guys, which I have seen in other westerns, like John Wayne's westerns and Clint Eastwood's westerns. Yeah, his was good. Back to Rowdy Yates and the boys. Yeah.
One of the clear kind of foundations of the Western is it's the very clear delineation between right and wrong. We know who the good people are and we know who the bad people are. But sometimes the lines get blurred. I mean, in this, I think there was a really interesting, especially conversation between the two of your characters. You're both killers. I mean, you both have killed before. So is there a difference? How do you justify it?
Business.
Yeah, business for you.
Business.
Personal. It was personal for me.
I've already killed today.
Yeah. So,
but not human.
No.
That one of the roosters in the background that I'm hearing.
Yeah. No, don't say. Yeah. No. Look, it probably because of my character's past. You know, like he come from. You know, obviously lost his father when he was young. Went off to the war, come back, and he'd already sort of probably found it easier to kill, like from his past. Yeah. So when he come back, because he really just didn't want a bar of it. He just didn't. My character just didn't want to go back, and he really didn't want to get it back into that scene. But of course, he had no choices. It was basically. Kill and make things right, or it was, or be killed and have his family killed. So, yeah, he didn't really have a lot of choices.
How cool was it for both of you to be in a shootout? I mean, obviously, you never want to go through that experience in real life, but cinematically, you got to hit the guns and you get to hide behind, a stagecoach, and you're shooting and you're doing stuff. Is there a little boy in you that kind of still comes out?
Oh, I loved it.
Definitely.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. We had a ball. I loved being on set. It was so much fun. And I mean, the whole way throughout of all that time that it took to make the film and that, I mean, like, it was just, I don't think anyone, there was never any arguments. No one even crossed words. It was just, everyone just really enjoyed it and loved doing it. It was really just fun, really going to work, wasn't it?
Yeah, It was, and we got to. I was shooting guns all the time, and the Gatling gun was. I didn't like the end of it where I got splattered with the Gatling gun. That was a little bit.
Yeah. Really, really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Not only do you get to sit there and create a movie, but you brought in not only real cowboys, but your family as well to support this. It almost seemed like a neighborhood. Let's get together instead of doing a play. Let's get together and make a movie. Talk a little bit about that atmosphere of having real cowboys on the set, your family being part of the process.
Oh, it was great. It was wonderful. Without my family, I don't think I could have really, and one of my best mates, obviously, it would have been a real struggle because, I mean, you've got to go to work. I mean, there was some people there on set I hadn't actually worked with before. So that was all new, traveling to meet people I had never met in my life and then having to be able to act with them. I found that pretty challenging. And that was Stumpy Allwood at the Grantchester Stagecoach Company. They were so good to us down there. They looked after us. And, I mean, they treated us like gold. He's out there we're up every morning at 4 o'clock and he's got his horses on his stagecoach and beautiful people, lovely people. And I think things just fell into place for us as far as shooting and working on set, things just seemed to work for us. It was
cooperation.
Yeah, cooperation. And everybody knew, you know, we had to be dedicated because we'd sort of started it and we couldn't pull out of it. We had to see it through. So no matter how hard it got or how tough it got, we had to keep pushing through to get it shot. But yeah, my wife, my two boys, they were my two sons, Jacob and Dean, at the front. That played my character when I was a kid, and also Matt's character, Jack. I think they done really well. Like for two young boys that had never been plucked out of the woods and chucked in front of a set like that. That was pretty. I was a little bit worried at first, but they just seemed to really. I don't know whether it's in their genetics or what, but they just seemed to be able to handle it quite well. And I was really proud to see them. And also my wife Julie. Wow, what a girl. I mean, like, really, the stuff she does, like she used to feed us all when we'd be on set, and she just never stopped setting up props and costumes. And because it's as you're aware, it's a massive job setting up a set, you know. And she just worked tirelessly. It was just brilliant. And also my father, who played Uncle Gus, my uncle, which is Uncle Charlie, he played our father that got shot. My brother-in-law, who played your character when he was young. Yeah. Andy, he was great. He was great. So, I mean, I was just blessed with that. And then all of our friends, you know, I've got really good friends here. And
Emmett Noski.
Yeah. And Matt Noski, who played the drunk. And I had worked with him before on set in our little small film we done, and I love working with him because he's so professional and he really makes you lift your game, you know, because he's just got everything set out in place, and you know, and he's always giving me tips on how to act better. And same with Emmett Adcock. He's I mean, I first met him when we were he actually come and shot our wedding years and years ago now, and from there I just developed a friendship with him, and he's absolutely brilliant. I mean, the guy's brilliant. He's cinematography. He's directing. He never got angry once when he was directing us all, because, you know, we're all we're not pro actors, obviously, and he was just so patient. And then he'd go through it with me and talk about how he actually wants me to express myself at that particular time, and then what to start working for my next scene that I had to do, and how to master that it's believable. He said, like he always said to me, you don't want to try and act or try and remember your words. It has to be just you naturally. And that's
he really molded.
Yeah, he's really the structure, the whole backbone structure of the whole thing. The guy's incredible.
Thematic wise, the film kind of delves into revenge and retribution. And I was just wondering, how does that sit with both of you? Are you the kind of guys that it's like, oh, water off my back, I'm fine? Or it's like, never forget?
I'm probably never forget.
I'm the opposite.
No, you are not.
But don't cross me.
Yeah.
I saw you in the movie. Trust me, you're totally safe. And just a last question for you. I mean, obviously in Hollywood, if you're going to make a Western, there are houses that store old props. You know, you can go get a stagecoach, you can go get the clothes, you can go to Monument Valley if you want to shoot. How accessible are all those things in Australia?
Yeah, a little bit difficult. There is some places down in Victoria. I mean, we live in Queensland, but there's a few places down there. There's a couple of places in Queensland, but it's not as easy. I mean, realistically, the home of the cowboy is America, really. And you guys have certainly got a lot of access over there to a lot more stuff than what we do. So it's a lot harder, I found, to be able to do that and to get that to work.
Well, Ian, Chris,
but there are locations.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Do you want to finish?
There are locations here, like colonial towns which have been established to try and make it as authentic as possible. But that's mainly in a museum and a heritage type of way. but there are locations.
Yeah.
And we still have steam trains running up and down the lines, which are
next film.
Yeah,
next one. We've got to use a steam train in the next one.
I want to rob a train.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Ian, Chris, you outnumbered me on this interview, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The film is called Outnumbered, and this is Scott. Till next time.